Hey guys, it's Sarah, and today I'm going to be doing a Tumblr Q&A, and I literally just started filming this video, but I ramble too much, so I decided to start over because I was like 3 questions in and it was at 13 minutes, so I'm redoing it. I'm gonna start over. Sorry if the lighting's weird. I only have one studio light because honestly, you're just gonna have to get used to it because I'm not even gonna have studio lights in college, so I'm sorry. And excuse me if I sound a little groggy or something. I literally just woke up from a nap like not that long ago because I'm just so exhausted and have been so busy. Like, I swear I've never been this busy in my life, but that was the first nap I've taken in so long, so now I just feel really like my body isn't used to that. So I'm just gonna get started with this Q&A before I keep rambling because that is what I do best, and that is not a good thing. And before you guys get weirded out by these people's questions, I did ask them to ask some personal questions that you wouldn't normally ask a YouTuber, so that's why they might seem a little invasive. Plus they're on anonymous, so they're obviously going to be a little bit more invasive since people don't really have a filter when they're on anonymous. So yeah, the first question is, do you and Emma share bras? No, we do not. We never have, and we don't share underwear either, for those wondering. Opinion on drugs? Some of my friends started smoking and I've never wanted to do it, but I feel kind of lame by not doing it. Okay, listen up. I didn't smoke at all throughout high school. I still haven't, and it's not because I'm like a prude bitch who thinks it's like awful for you. I just really have no interest in that kind of stuff because I just feel like there are ways to have fun without being intoxicated. I don't think you need to like get lit with your friends every weekend in order to have a good time, and I feel like it's kind of unhealthy or very unhealthy if that is how you have fun. There will be some people who will judge you for never smoking or doing that kind of stuff. Before you like get all upset about that, just remember that they are the pathetic ones for thinking that you are like doing something wrong or like you're offending them by not smoking. Like, I don't know, I just feel like that's kind of backwards almost. Like, why would somebody be like weirded out by the fact that you don't do something that you don't want to do that doesn't harm them? I don't know, it's just kind of pathetic for someone to think you're weird for not smoking. So I don't have anything against smoking, by the way. Like, I went to a public school, so that kind of like those substances were very prominent at my school, and I'm just kind of like an example that you can make it through high school without doing that stuff. So someone else asked, have you ever been to a therapist? Yes, I have. I don't go to one anymore just because I don't really need to, I feel like, but I used to like literally a year ago actually. I feel like some of you guys know that though, so that's not like a weird secret, but I guess some of you guys don't know. Okay, this person asked this question really weird, but basically they also asked if I ran into a subscriber in public and we clicked, would I give them like my number or something, or do I like to keep my YouTube life separate from my personal life? And the answer is I have no fucking clue. People ask me this all the time on Tumblr and I never answer it. Like, people always ask me if like a subscriber DM me asking for my number, if I give it to them. Like, okay, to that extent, no, I wouldn't, because that's just a little bit like invasive. Like, you can never tell if you'd be friends with someone just by them DMing you that, so that's just like kind of invasive. But like, this person's asking if I clicked with a subscriber, and I feel like that's a little bit different because I feel like if I clicked with anyone, I would give them like my number or Snapchat or something. So I don't know, this question is just very hard because I wouldn't want to become friends randomly with like one subscriber and then another one and then another one, and then everyone is trying to like get my number or something, because that's just very personal, I guess. Giving out your number, like, your number is very personal. Like, as someone with social anxiety, that just gives me a lot of anxiety and sounds super overwhelming. So yeah, that's basically my answer to that question. Sounds very unclear. I don't know if any of that made sense, but here's one that a lot of people were asking, and it is if me and Ollie are still dating. And no, we aren't, but we are still friends. We don't hate each other or anything, and like, I don't know, we did take a little bit to like kind of be away from each other and not communicate at all, just because that's, I think, what's healthiest when you get out of a relationship. You don't want to like keep talking to someone that you broke up with like yesterday, because you're just gonna like rely on them too much, and I feel like it's very unhealthy to do that. So we spent a little bit of time not talking, but now we're like friends again. We like Snapchat, so I mean, it was a little bit awkward when we started talking again. Like, don't get me wrong, I feel like it would be with anyone, but like, I don't know, he was in my life for 2 years, so like, obviously he's a really good friend of mine anyway, so it's not like we broke up, like we got in a huge fight or anything. It's honestly really just because college, and yeah, we just really didn't think it would be smart to be in a relationship during college, like at such a transitional time in our lives. Knowing the both of us, like that would be so stressful and hard on us, so we just mutually decided that it wouldn't be best if we dated in college. And they also asked, was it hard for you and Emma to split clothes and makeup, and how did you? So to start off with, I feel like we didn't really use that much of the same makeup to begin with, so we really only had to buy a couple new things. And then for clothes, okay, I'm gonna be completely honest, I thought we'd be screaming at each other, like we would be fighting so much over clothes, but then once we got to it, it was like a lot easier. Like we were just kind of like, oh, I bought that, that's mine, like give it to me. So it wasn't that hard. We still have like a lot more clothes to go through, but we went through like all of our shirts and dresses and sweatshirts, and we already just like know who are, like we buy our own shoes, so like we know who's our who's. What do your friends think of your YouTube? Okay, I honestly, like, not to sound like a cocky little bitch or something, but like I feel like a lot of my friends tell me they think it's cool. I'm sure they've like thought it was weird at some point, but I'm not really friends with people anymore who would think that, I feel like. So yeah, I don't think any of my friends think it's weird. If they do, then sorry, I enjoy it. They also asked if teachers in high school knew about it, and yeah, a couple of teachers did. That was only because there was a magazine at our school where like our friend did an article about it, so if it wasn't for that, I don't think they would have known, but only a couple of them read it, I think. No one really like asked me about it. It was mostly just like my photography teacher and then my chemistry teacher who really actually said something about it. Is there a question that people ever ask on Tumblr that annoys you? Well, yeah, and I feel like it's that subscriber one because I never know how to answer it. Also, I don't really like when people do video requests on Tumblr because that's not really what I use Tumblr for. If I want video requests, then like I'll ask for it, but if not, then like, I don't know. I don't know why, it just kind of bothers me when people give me video requests on Tumblr. If you're mad at a friend, is the other twin mad at her because you are, or does it not affect them? I don't really, I mean, if someone does me wrong, or if someone does Emma wrong, I'll judge that friend and be like, why'd you do that? And then I probably won't like them because like as her twin, I know a lot of what goes down with her, so it's not necessarily that if Emma's mad at someone for something that has nothing to do with me, then I'd be mad too. Like that's just kind of like immature, but if someone does my sister wrong and I know that they were rude to her, then I'll be mad at that person. Like that's more how it would go. Someone asked if I buy decor at thrift stores. I've actually only bought 2 things from a thrift store, a picture frame and a jar. I wouldn't say I'm really like into thrifting, but when I started getting more into it, I just never needed room decor or anything, so I never looked there for it. Did you ever play an instrument? If so, which? Yes, I actually played the trumpet in 6th grade because I was in band. And I also played the piano for a few years, but then I quit. Honestly, do that with so many things. How often did you work on school days, and did you work on the weekends during your senior year? During senior year, I worked like 20 to 25 hours during the school weeks, and oh my god, did I work on weekends? Yeah, I worked on weekends. I worked every single weekend, both days of the weekend, and it was so frustrating because I didn't have a social life. I swear I didn't hang out with anyone like ever. I got money, so it's okay. How do I get over feeling shitty about people like friends? I lost an ex-BF and I'm trying to move on, but the memories consume me and put me into a depression. This is what I always say. There is probably a reason you're not friends with that person anymore. And when it comes to friendships, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and if people are meant to be in your lives, they will stay. That person probably wasn't a good person to have in your life to begin with, so as much as you might have had good memories with them, like I have old friends that I'm not friends with anymore that I had good memories with, but I don't really let that consume me. I've never really let that ever get to me because I know that in the end we were not meant to be friends like forever. Yeah, you really just shouldn't like cling on to friendships like in high school and stuff, because people change so much. Like, people grow and change, and in high school and like grade school, I feel like you're just bound to lose a friend. Like, everyone goes through friends in high school, so just don't be too upset about it, because you will make friends eventually that will be 10 times better. And yeah. Okay, this is an interesting one actually. Have you ever thought about maybe you aren't straight, like at any point in time, even just for a second? I'm gonna have to think about. So no, because I feel like you kind of know when you're straight and gay or bi. I don't know. I just feel like, okay, this is what I think. I feel like when you find out what that is, like as a kid or a teen, like when you find out that there's a thing where you like the same sex, you for a second go, oh, what if I'm that? But then quickly kind of you realize like, no, I'm straight. Like, I don't know. I know I'm straight, so I guess that's the answer to that question. Do you ever want to have kids? And yes, I do. I have always said I want like 2 kids, because I just feel like that's a good amount for me. I don't want an only child, but I don't want more than 2, so that's my answer. And when am I going to have kids? When I'm financially stable and I am in a committed relationship with someone, because I don't want a flaky dad. And I don't know what I want to name my future kids. And I think I'm just gonna finish the Q&A here, because this is a long video. I think it says 20 minutes, so I think I'm gonna be done with the video. And I'm sorry if I didn't answer your question, because there were quite a lot. If your question wasn't answered in this Q&A, then it will be answered on Tumblr. I will answer all of them, just not in here because this video is getting a little too long. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you enjoyed the advice / questions I answered. Follow me on all of my social media. Don't forget to subscribe and like this video, and maybe like comment down below if you have anything to say to the people that asked some advice, like if you have some advice from personal experience, or if you just completely disagree with me. But yeah, bye!